So I'm going to explain what we think about backup policies with Bacula, which is, of course, a term pretty widely used, but not natively ingrained in the Bacula software or its documentation or the terminology we use with this project. So let's clear that up a bit and explain how we think about application of backup policies and how you represent them with the Bacula software. Of course, it's all about deciding what data to back up, when to back it up, where to back it up to, and all of that, of course, because we want to restore. So it's about the ability to restore and the definition of what facilities and what possibilities are needed and are required and are available. So we think about when we think about a backup policy we want to apply, we think about when do we do backups, how often, how do we do them, full backups, incrementals, all those things. Where do we back up to? Which media, which location? How long do we keep our backups in the end? Do we need to replicate them? We think about 3-2-1 or 3-2-1-1-0 or whatever considerations, essentially keeping several copies in different media, different locations, probably schemes like grandfather, father, son, for keeping your backups and doing your backups. All those things, they have their reflection in the backup policy that you want to develop. So with Bacula, when we think about when to backup and how often, it's a schedule. Also, a schedule with Bacula includes some information of how to backup, full backups, incremental backups, essentially the backup levels, smaller fry as well, such as the setting to spool data or not to spool data can be part of the schedule. So we have a lot of the information we need in the schedules. We have other information that we need in the storage and pool configuration, in the storage and pool resources that are going to be used for backups. Of course, that's about storage devices, which implicitly is about locations. It's also about pools, which is about sets of volumes, which can be, of course, linked to particular media, just as the storage devices would be. And all those things, they end up being storage and pool configuration with Bacula. Then we have retention times, how long to keep our backups. Retention times are pretty important, of course. They are a key element of a backup policy in a way. And we have other things, considerations about replicating backups, how many different generations to keep, where to keep them. This is with Bacula expressed essentially an additional copy and migration job configuration. Now, as it happens, the retention times are linked to pools and implicitly to storage, so we can consider them being part of the storage and pool configuration with Bacula. And then we have the other thing, additional copy and migration jobs. Well, the keyword additional says it already. That is not the scope of the backup policy at all, alone. It may be used to refine what you do, but it's not the core element of a backup policy for Bacula. So in the end, for Bacula, a backup policy mostly consists of a schedule or schedules, and the storage and pool configuration that we need to decide where to put our backups, in which location, how long to keep them, keep different retention times for different backup levels, for example. All those things, they end up there. And of course, a policy is not a particular jobs configuration. It's not the configuration for a particular backup you want to run. It's something you want to apply again and again to different backups, to different probably subsets of your data environment, subsets of your hosts, all of that. But it's kind of a template that you want to apply to different parts of your backup regime. So those templates in Bacula, they are called job defs, job defaults. So this is what we do if we want to implement a backup policy. We create job defs representing default configurations, mostly focusing on schedules and storage and pools, probably a tiny bit around that. But if we design a backup policy that we want to make easily applicable to different backups in your environments, we think about job devs. And job devs are kind of the representation of a backup policy in Bacula accordingly. So this is what we think about, how we think about that. How to do that will be explained and shown in a different video that you will also be finding here.